Hey, Mav Squad, Mav here. So, you guys heard the news earlier. My wife got arrested, for domestic battery on me, and, I was gonna make a follow-up post because after any major event like that, what you need is sleep. You need sleep and time to reflect, and, I'm sure anybody watching is like, why the hell is he putting up with this? Why, has this happened before? It's obviously been a problem before. And why did he put up with it? And, also, what led to this time being so different and her getting arrested? But also, why she's like that. And I'll answer kind of a twofer. My wife has also had a very, very, very hard life. I mentioned that in the first video. And let's just say that, okay, so my wife is Taiwanese. I told you that. She's from Taiwan. Every single bad thing that can happen to a woman, from being assaulted emotionally, physically, car traffic, stuff like that, it can affect a woman in ways that she disconnects from reality. So whenever her emotions start to take over, if I'm not able to keep her calm, it just doesn't work. Like, for example, when she called me from the jail, she didn't even remember the fight until about halfway through, when I told you guys I wrapped her up and I laid on her on the bed. And she said that was me attacking her first, and I did it for no reason, because we were arguing. So it just shows how mental illness can really be a serious problem. Now, what was different about today? Because in the first 6 months of the relationship, her getting physical was a real problem. It really was. She would hit me a lot. Or try to anyways. She wouldn't succeed very often. She's 5'2", 110 pounds. I'm 5'11", 200 pounds. But she's a baker and she's strong, and it's just, like the policeman told her, if he had hit you first, you'd pretty much have an exploded mouth, or a broken bone, or a broken nose, or you wouldn't not have a single scratch if he hit you or something. You're saying your wrists are red? Well, what do you expect somebody to do when you hit them? Of course they're gonna grab your wrists and try to get you to stop. So she has bond hearing tomorrow. She has first arraignment at 9 a.m. So I needed to get some rest, because I need to figure out how to get her out. Now, the lovely part is that I'm not on the savings account, because I'm terrible with money right now, and right now it's important that we save. And so I've got my account, she's got hers, and then we got a joint, and we use hers as a saving for us. We use mine as personal spending money for me, and then she uses the joint to budget. So the joint, because she wants to teach me how to budget, which is amazing to learn. So I'm learning off the joint, but oftentimes she wants to make it as realistic as possible and do like what a real budget would look like if we weren't as I don't want to say comfortable, but if we weren't as frigid as, is that the right word? Not frigid, frugal. If we had not been as frugal as we had been, so we'd be in a lot worse position. So her name's on that account, and I have no money to bail her out. So I also want to be at the hearing because I know the judge is going to put in some conditions. So here in Florida, there's certain things about domestic violence that happen. So if there's domestic violence at all, period, Florida has a zero tolerance policy for that. So certain things happen. I don't get to choose if I get to press charges. Like, if the neighbor comes up and punches me in the face, I can say, don't take him to jail. It's cool. I was an asshole. I deserved it. You know? Or even just, I'll forgive him. Don't take him to jail. Whatever. I'm in full control of whether or not he goes to jail. And, it's not like that in Florida. And, guys, if you see me pause like that, I'm just trying to keep everything straight in my head because of my coma and my short-term memory issues. Yeah. See, I just lost my train of thought. Trouble of falling into a coma. But long story short, I gotta bail her out, and I don't have any money access. She's got all the cards, but I'm hoping her understanding is good enough to understand that she's able to bail herself out, because I said English is her third language. I mean, Mandarin and Taiwanese are 1 and 2, so it's kind of a toss-up for me as far as I'm assuming she'll get out tomorrow because I've been working with her sister and brother in Taiwan. I think one of them is actually in like the Maldives and the other one's in Japan or something. So like, she comes from a very nice family, very, very nice. And it's because they're hardworking, they live very well, they budget, they're very, Asians live in a very, in a way that I want to live, very clean, very efficient, very morally honorable, and all the things that I wasn't before. Like, having a regular job and career and holding it and making great money and stuff like that. Before I forget, I've got a job interview for, it's crazy because she gets so mad over that and gets herself thrown in jail. And 1.5 hours probably after I made the video, I got a phone call from the Marriott, from like a really nice Marriott. I live in Tampa, Florida, so I'm near St. Pete Beach, and they got all these super nice hotels and resorts, and the Vinoy wanted to schedule an interview for an in-room dining server, which is a position I was offered, accepted, and couldn't go through because of my citizenship paperwork and stuff, which I've now acquired my citizenship. And even though it was legal documentation, it wasn't by Marriott policies, so I couldn't go through. So I think I've got a very high chance of getting the job. And this would be at, one of the very, very nice Marriotts on St. Pete Beach. So that would be awesome, because that would be between 500 and 1,000 a shift, easy. And that would literally take me from nothing to really being able to really start my life over, to like really start my life over. Really any job would right now, because I'm so stressed out. I don't know. And here's the thing I want to say to any victim of domestic abuse is, I know that it's hard. I'm gonna be a little bit more vulnerable right now. Like I said, right now my savings are in her account. I have not that many liquid funds that I can, pull out. We just moved into, this beautiful place, and 5-year lease on incredible monthly rates, about 2/3 of the area, and for a very nice property. But anyways, so that's kind of why I put up with it from her. Oh, and the fact that she really does work on her emotions. Before, it would happen every day, then a month later it happened every few days, then a month later it happened once a week, then a month later it happened once a month, and then every 2 months, then 3 months, and now it's been like 4 months since an outburst like that, because I have PTSD from that, from my ex, doing false reports, from her, claiming that. I mean, my ex got me arrested twice from false reporting. She was developing a drug addiction. I cut off the cash, and she started threatening to false report if I didn't give her cash, or things like that. And twice I ended up in jail because I'm a man, and and 2 times I had to hire an attorney to beat the case for me, and 2 times I beat the case, declared not guilty. And then, funnily enough, she was arrested for battery on me too. She didn't beat hers, though. So I left that girl like a ton of bricks. Also, why not her? Like I said, 1, her past. 2, her issues are being worked on hard. Like, she is doing a lot of sincere hard work and effort. And that means a lot to me, because our relationship really has come a long way, and these past few months I've never been happier. I just want her to get mental help. The third point, before I get to the third point, I was gonna say, I know it's hard. I know sometimes you don't know where you're gonna end up. You might be homeless. Those are possibilities that I might be facing for the potential future. But realistically, guys, there's never going to be a perfect time. Never, ever, ever gonna be a perfect time. Because I learned that in my last relationship. And if you're the kind of person who's like, oh, I'm gonna put up with it until I save up enough money to move out, or oh, I'm gonna put up with it till X, Y, Z, whatever your reasoning is. All I want to tell you is that it's gonna get worse if you put up with it, and you need to respect yourself. Okay, so what I did today was, she has trauma from the police. She's afraid of police officers because they're in uniform and they carry guns. And she is a past where a significant other assaulted her twice, 2 attempted murders by strangulation, pled down to 2 domestic battery by strangulation in military court. So she has, that issue to work through. So, yeah, whatever. Anyways, so you gotta draw lines. You have to respect yourself, and you have to set clear boundaries. And at the start, I had put up with a few blows at the start and turned the other cheek, because I always got an apology after and everything. But I knew that at the rate she was improving, in a couple weeks, I was going to draw the line and start imposing the no hitting rule. I've got a no screaming rule, no hitting rule, and a no saying mean things for no reason rule. And I try to use the I feel when we communicate. Like, I think that everything is feelings between couples. So I say I feel this, and she says she feels. I make her say that she feels X, Y, and Z, and it's all these feelings coming out that, I don't know, she just snapped today. But like I said, you gotta respect yourself. One of my boundaries with her was, one, you will not scream at me at the top of your voice, or scream at me at all, and expect to have a conversation with me, or expect me to engage with you in any way. And that's for my sanity. With everything I've been through, I'm just over fighting. I don't want to fight anymore. I just want to be in a happy relationship. Then the other thing I have a zero tolerance for is domestic abuse and hitting. Why especially that? Because it can lead to super dangerous situations. I would say especially if you're the man, but it's different consequences for each sex. Like, for example, she had hit me 4 or 5 times, right? And on the last time, I almost blacked out and just went gorilla. Just really, almost just really started swinging like she was a dude. Like, it was close. And I'm so proud of myself that I had enough self-control to pull myself back from that, because I don't know if I would have been able to a few years ago when I was more hot-headed. And that's whenever I realized, holy crap, this is a really dangerous situation. Because I could snap and hurt her because she's hurting me. That's no justification. two wrongs do not make a right, and I don't care what people say between couples. It's not who's the shittiest person contest, and people get wrapped up in those all the time. But I did that because you did this, and I did this because you did that, and it's like every time it's like, well, I was slightly less shitty than you. Like, you're a 10, but I was a 9.9, so I win. It's like, yeah, I mean, I guess you were slightly better, but you're still absolute shit. And pardon my language. But, so, I don't get wrapped up in those things. So, and today, she just snapped and started screaming. So, the first line in the sand gets crossed. I have to respect myself and disengage from the conversation. And what's that do? Of course, whenever you tell your wife or your girlfriend, or, you know, if you ladies are watching, you know, I'm sure that whenever you're upset with your man and then he just goes silent on you, probably doesn't make you too happy, does it? So she crosses the first line, and I don't get mad back, I don't curse back, I don't yell back, I just go silent, I go mute. It's like the conversation is not advancing until you talk to me in a normal tone. That's how I deal with things. That's how I set precedent and all that. Then there's the hitting, which is the second line in the sand. That got crossed one time, which, if it was a quick, you know, snap, whoopsie, oh, I hit you, okay, like, immediate apology, immediate crap, like, what did I do? Like, okay, I'll forgive that. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna have a convo about it. I'm 4 times her size. There's nothing she can do with her hands, just her hands, that could really hurt me. I feel like I don't feel like she could hit me anywhere in the face and even cause a dazing blow. So, although it does hurt, and you see she hits pretty hard too, so she's not a weakling by any means. But once the first one happened, I was willing to forgive. And then the second one happened, and that's when I knew we had a problem, because that's when I was like, holy shit, she just really cold-cocked me on the first one. And then she, you know, it just was so bad. It was so bad. It just would not stop. And at that point, it's like, alright, man, like, I have to protect myself as a man, because, one, I'm not going to jail over your crazy attitude, firstly. Secondly, I'm not going to jail because police get called, they show up, and you want to lie on me. Thirdly, I don't want to go to jail because nothing happens. They show up. You know, I forget what the third one was exactly. But I also don't want to have to physically harm her. I mean, as I said, one physical break, she pulled a knife on me, and Guys, to be honest, I drew on her. I was recording my phone in one hand and I had my pistol out in the other. And I was telling her, I was like, please, like, put the knife down. But that's a story for another day. And so I was just like, this has gotten to where I can't handle it. Like, I can't keep a lid on it. Like, I almost just hurt her once, like just now, by almost blacking out. And, there are firearms and different weapons in the house. And it's just, I don't want it to escalate into more violence. And so I called the police. And boy, at first, I don't think they really took me seriously. I felt at the start until they saw how shooken up I was. And it's getting to 30 minutes, so I'll wrap it up. So make sure you get at least some evidence on video. If you're in an abusive relationship, your girl starts popping off, discreetly start recording. Make sure you take a bunch of videos, like record for a minute, stop, record. Record for a minute, stop, record. Because you do a 20-minute video, she's able to tackle you and shut your screen off, you lose that video. Whereas if you, do 30-second intervals, stuff like that, you're going to have what you're going to need. And that's what I did, and thank goodness I did, because I got her on camera hitting me. And once they saw how shooken up I was, and that I had footage, and they saw my injuries and stuff, yeah, that's that. So that's it for tonight. Bail's tomorrow, and my job interview is the day after that. So pray for me. I know when she gets released, she will have a restraining order. So she won't be able to come near me, the house, the car, anything. So I think the most important thing for me to do right now is to make sure I have a place to stay and maintain my hold over the car. So yeah, it's I'll keep you guys posted. Like I said, this is kind of self-therapy, it's self-accountability, it's emotional support for you guys. Like, for real, leave a comment, hit me up, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike it. I would love any kind of support. So, like, subscribe. I'd love to get some of you guys subscribed and start building a little community and stuff like that. And, just having people to talk to and, people to give advice to. So, I'd love to do that. Maybe down the line, start a Discord or something like that. But, yeah, guys, Mav out.